Prosecutors investigating the Sung Woan-jong scandal have summoned lawmakers Rhee In-je and Han-gil, who have dodged such summons so far. On Monday, the Navy commemorates the 13th anniversary of the second deadly naval skirmish between the two Koreas on the Yellow Sea in 2002. And Thailand's mobile gaming market has surged with the spread of smartphones. More than half of the popular games there were developed in Korea. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Monday, June 29th. I'm Luke Larry. Prosecutors investigating the Sung Woan-jong scandal have once again summoned lawmakers Rhee In-je and Han-gil, who so far have refused to show up for questioning. The prosecutors say they will take necessary measures if the two fail to respond yet again.
Prosecutors investigating the Sung Woan-jong scandal have summoned Saenuri Party Rep Rhee In-je and New Politics Alliance for Democracy Rep Keangnam one more time. The prosecutors said they had summoned the two yet again because the parliamentary session is currently underway and that they are considering all necessary measures to make the two respond to the summons. According to the prosecution, one of Rep Rhee In-je's aides is suspected of having received over $17,000 from Keangnam Enterprises during the 2012 general elections. He said he would appear for questioning on June 27 after returning from an overseas trip, but he never showed up. Rep Han-gil, for his part, is suspected of having received tens of thousands of dollars from late Keangnam Enterprises chairman Sung Woan-jong when he was running for chairman of the former Democratic Party in 2013. The prosecutor summoned Kim on June 24 and 26, but he refused to respond, saying that it would follow the party's rule that responding to the illegitimate summons is wrong.
Monday marks the 13th anniversary of the second naval skirmish between the two Koreas on the Yellow Sea in June 2002. It left 6 South Korean soldiers dead. The Navy's guided missile patrol boats, named after the 6 fallen soldiers, carried out a field drill to commemorate the battle. Let's take a look.
A suspicious movement is detected on the radar of a South Korean naval ship operating near the northern limit line in the Yellow Sea.
적정 레이더상 컨택, NLL로 지속 접근 중.
6 of the Navy's guided missile high-speed boats are promptly deployed to the NLL. Upon confirming that the enemy vessel has violated the NLL, they enter into combat mode.
정원, 전투 배치.
The warship's 76mm guns fire simultaneously. The enemy vessel hurriedly retreats, unable to resist. Introduced after the Second Inter-Korean Battle of Yeonpyeong, the guided missile patrol ships boast enhanced combat capabilities with 76mm guns and ship-to-ship missiles.
6분의 숭고한 희생정신을 본받아 도발하는 적은 바다에서 반드시 경멸하겠습니다.
6 soldiers died fighting against the North Korean ship with superior firepower in the second Yeonpyeong naval skirmish. Warships named after them are now tightly guarding South Korea's territorial waters.
Public housing apartments built for young people and newlywed couples will welcome their first residents this year. The so-called Happy Housing Project has gained pace since the location for more public housing apartments serving some 38,000 households was confirmed.
Under the Happy Housing Project, old public housing apartments are being rebuilt into new ones. About 80% of the units are leased to college students, people entering the workforce for the first time, and newlywed couples. The entire second floor of the apartment building consists of study rooms and cafes to cater to the young residents.
전체 공사의 65%가 완료되었으며 현재 내부에서 타일 및 마감 공사 등을 진행하고 있습니다. 8월 말 준공 예정으로 10월 입주에 차질없이
Applications for the apartments will be accepted starting July 7th, with almost 850 units in Samjeong-dong Songpa District, Daegok-dong Seocho District, Cheonwang-dong Guro District, and Gangil-dong Gangdong District awaiting their first residents. The apartments will be leased at 60 to 80% of the market price in their respective areas. College students will be able to rent the apartments for 68% of the market price. People who have just started their first jobs, 72%, and newlyweds, 80%. The government aims to supply 140,000 public housing units nationwide by 2017.
In North Korea, a new generation born after the market system was introduced to the country is becoming more influential. The distinctions with older North Koreans come from their experiences with the market economy and contact with the outside world. Today, we hear from North Korean escapees representing this young generation. Here's the story.
This woman in her 20s was deeply immersed in secretly watching South Korean movies and dramas before escaping from North Korea 4 years ago. Younger North Koreans, called the Jangmadang generation, aged between 18 and 35, have not received the benefits of rations and free education provided by the North Korean regime. They instead grew up experiencing foreign media and the North's marketization, harboring questions about the North Korean system.
김정일 원수님 고맙습니다 이러고 인사 계속 받아야 돼요. 근데 속으로는 과자를 먹기 위한 인사죠. 그러니까 속으로 이걸 왜 해야 되지? 막 이러면서.
According to a survey of 54 young North Korean escapees conducted by the University of North Korean Studies, more than 35% said that they had disregarded the North Korean government's ideological education because of difficulties in making a living. The analysis shows that the younger generation's more liberal attitudes, in which the North Korean government's regulations and interventions are seen as obstacles, are stronger among those living in cities and border areas with middle-class family backgrounds.
Bug sprays and spray-type air fresheners are widely used in the summer, but the liquefied petroleum gas contained in sprays easily explodes when it comes into contact with fire. Take a look at the danger posed by spray-type products.
The window of this apartment is gone, and the whole place is a mess. The blaze at this apartment in Keangnam District, Seoul, occurred in the early hours of June 23rd due to a gas explosion and inflicted burns all over the resident's body. Firefighters believe that the explosion occurred when the victim was lighting a cigarette with a lighter after using mosquito repellent with all of the windows closed. Mosquito repellent sprays contain small amounts of liquefied petroleum gas, which can explode when large amounts of it come in contact with fire. This test shows how dangerous it can be. When an electric spark is applied in a wooden box filled with spray gas, a powerful explosion occurs. This time, a plastic box filled with spray gas is set on fire. It becomes engulfed in flames in a matter of seconds. Back in April, a car burned down in Hongseong County, South Chungcheong Province when the driver caused an explosion in the engine block after spraying air freshener into the vents and starting the engine.
With more than 40 million smartphones nationwide, Thailand is seeing a surge in the number of mobile game users. More than half of the mobile games popular in the Southeast Asian country were developed in South Korea.
It's lunchtime at a company in Bangkok, Thailand. Young employees have gathered at a lounge, preoccupied with something on their smartphones. It is a mobile game developed by a South Korean company.
มากกว่า 70% นะครับเพราะว่านิยมอยู่ช่วงหนึ่งตอนนี้ก็เล่นกันเยอะค่อนข้างเยอะมีเกมอื่นมาค่อนข้างเยอะ
With this soaring popularity, South Korean mobile games have captured more than half of Thailand's game market, which has a value of over $220 million. Keys to the success include impressive character designs, interesting storylines, and integration with Korean mobile messenger services.
การพัฒนาเกมของประเทศเกาหลีนะครับจะมีความทันสมัยนะครับแล้วก็มีการปรับรูปแบบของตัวละครแล้วก็เรื่องราวต่างๆเนี่ยค่อนข้างถูกใจประเทศไทย
South Korean mobile games are enjoying huge popularity in other countries like Malaysia and Indonesia as well, capturing the largest share of their respective game markets. $2.8 billion worth of Korean games were exported last year, 10 times more than the amount earned through exports of K-pop. As such, Korean games are emerging as a new cash cow that will continue to fan the Korean culture boom overseas.
Ordinary citizens tend to avoid dark city alleyways where teenagers often gather to smoke cigarettes and crimes can take place under the cover of darkness. But a fresh paint job or a mural on the wall can help beautify neighborhoods and even prevent crime.
This alleyway has become bright and colorful. People are busy painting murals in the dark and dilapidated back street. Police officers, volunteers, and college students have been drawing paintings on the walls in dark and secluded back streets since 2011 to prevent crime. In fact, since the appearance of the murals, crime near schools and in residential areas have declined by about 30%.
그전에는 너무 싸움하러 들어오면 요리 들어오고 또 피도 흘리고 담배 피러 오고 볼일 보러 오고 많이 그랬어요. 근데 지금은 많이 좋아졌습니다.
The murals have been especially effective in preventing school violence. In total, 17,000 cases of school violence occurred in South Gyeongsang Province alone over the past 3 years. Among them, some 5,800 cases took place on the streets more frequently than in classrooms. There are 23 alleyways featuring these murals meant to discourage crime. The Keangnam Provincial Police Agency plans to carry out the mural project in about 50 more alleyways.
Now, since when did police start using scientific investigative means such as hypnosis, DNA testing, and CCTV analysis? Movies provide a glimpse into the evolution of scientific investigative methods over the decades.
In 1978, an elementary school student was kidnapped in Busan. There were no computers or mobile phones back then, so investigators had to rely almost entirely on legwork.
지가 아직 살아있네요. 물가 근처로 해야 되는데.
There was actually an instance in which a fortune teller's prediction helped crack a case.
번호판에 숫자가 보이네.
Hypnosis was used for the first time in this case. It was a cutting-edge investigative method at the time. A serial murderer terrorized the city of Hwasong in the 1980s. Back then, it was impossible to conduct DNA analysis in Korea. DNA testing became part of police investigations only in 1992. Since the 2000s, mobile phones began to come with GPS chips, allowing investigators to track them and their owners. Police also began analyzing surveillance videos for scientific investigation in 2011.
비스듬히 촬영된 차량을 바로 앞에서 보듯이 확대하여 볼 수가 있고 이미지가 나쁜 영상을 여러 개 합쳐서 좋은 영상을 만들고 있습니다.
Suspenseful crime movies show us how scientific crime investigation has evolved over the decades.
These days, you need to use different detergents according to the washing machine and type of fabric. Today, we have tips on smart detergent use, and later on, how to ease asymmetric facial features which can cause headaches or jaw joint troubles.
Here's a comparison of the rinsing effect of 3 detergents, the powder, liquid, and sheet types. We'll create stains using ketchup, soy sauce, and juice. Washing begins under identical conditions for the 3 different detergents, and the end result doesn't appear any different. So why is detergent different for regular washing machines and the rotating drum washer type? This is due to the way drum washers operate.
일반용 세제는 거품이 많이 생기게 돼서 낙차에 의한 충격이 줄어들게 됩니다. 그래서 세척력이 줄어들 수가 있어요. 가급적이면 드럼용 세제를 사용하시는 것이 좋습니다.
Adding bleaching agents is known to make a cleaner wash. Now we move on to the topic of facial asymmetry, which can be caused by daily habits such as chewing on one side and resting your chin on your hand. Jun Hana says that her confidence level has hit rock bottom as her asymmetric face prevents her from making finer facial expressions. We can see the tail of her left eye drooping and her cheekbones are unbalanced. The shape of her nose is also less than symmetrical.
양쪽 눈꼬리 중 올라간 쪽이 있으면 그쪽은 강대를 검지로 잡아서 강대를 눌러서 내려줍니다. 눈꼬리 중 내려간 쪽이 있으면 그쪽은 강대 부분을 소주잔 뒷면으로 올려줍니다.
Try this. Use your thumb and push up the end of your mouth on the side of the sagging eye. Hold it for 10 seconds while holding your ear with the rest of your fingers. Your neck muscles must also be relaxed to address an asymmetric face. With your fingertips, massage from the neck to the forehead in circular motions from the inside out 3 times. Then do the same motion from the outside in from the neck to the cheekbones and forehead to pull in the relaxed muscles. Repeat this 4 times. A crooked pelvis is also known to cause facial asymmetry, so sitting properly is also advised at all times. Finally, chewing your food equally on both sides goes without saying.
Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.